isn't your typical Ben 10 villain. His debut likely left many of you terrified as kids, but what truly stands out the most is his emergence from the dead, time and time again. He's one of those villains who is well crafted in terms of character and design. So, who is
Zs'skayr,
aka a ghost freak from Ben 10 Part 1? Let's go.
Zs'skayr,
Also known as Ghost Freak, is an Ectonurite and was the High Ecto-Lord of Anur-Phaetos and Anur-Transil in the Anur system. He was originally stuck in the form of Ghost Freak, but over time, he managed to gain enough control over Ben's alien form that he could escape from the Omnitrix, becoming one of Ben Tennyson's most dangerous enemies.
Zs'skayr,
Takes huge inspiration from the Grim Reaper himself, as he has a ghostly gray-purple body with black chest lines, an upside-down gray-brown skull head, long black nails, and tears in his skin, revealing striped tentacles. Omniverse decides to kick it up a notch as his new form includes turning his head right side up, featuring 2 eyes and modified skin resembling a hood and cloak, complete with a scythe. What makes him so great is his design that made everyone piss their pants when they were younger, and his dark black Air Force aura. He has a twisted, arrogant, power-hungry, and sadistic personality who manipulates and destroys those he considers as worthless. What makes him such a dangerous villain is his ingenuity, as he is a careful planner coming up with cunning and complex schemes like no other villain. He is highly vindictive and vengeful and has a bloodthirsty personality. His obsession with possessing Ben, besides using the Omnitrix to become complete again, stems from being trapped within the Omnitrix and thus determined to make Ben feel the same way. Every major character has something that makes them iconic, and with
Zs'skayr,
it's his rotated head and his scythe, symbolizing the Grim Reaper. Though he works best alone, he is sometimes seen cooperating with others, using them to fulfill his goal. That's not all, because here are some facts about
Zs'skayr,
aka Ghost Freak from Ben 10. Let's go. Did you know
Zs'skayr,
is over 400 years old, yet he still has beef with someone who is only 10 years old? Did you also know
Zs'skayr,
his name existed way before Omniverse, but was never used on screen even though it was conceived during the original series? He is also the first alien to leave the Omnitrix, followed by the sentient ultimate aliens. Dave Johnson, the designer of Ghost Freak, designed
Zs'skayr,
with an upside-down head to justify Ghost Freak's eye placement. What's even crazier is
Zs'skayr,
is considered to be a living being by Ectonurite standards, as their concept of life is very different, therefore confirming that he is able to die.
Zs'skayr,
Also has 2 twin nieces called Zs'skayr and Zs'skayr. We all know that
Zs'skayr,
is one of the most iconic characters in the Ben 10 franchise. Just when you think he's been destroyed, he finds a way back, just like Loki, which leaves us with some big questions like, what is the origin of
Zs'skayr,
aka Ghost Freak, and how did he get trapped in the Omnitrix? How did
Zs'skayr,
aka Ghost Freak escape the Omnitrix a second time? And after
Zs'skayr,
was sucked into the transmat portal, how did he end up captured in alien force? And later on, how did he end up in Legger domain in Omniverse? Lots of questions, so let's get going. The original
Zs'skayr,
was once the High Ecto-Lord of Anur-Phaetos. He learned about the Omnitrix from the data files of one of Vilgax's scout probes, which crash-landed on his planet. He left his planet using the probe and searched the galaxy by possessing many beings. After some time, he encountered Myax while she was collecting DNA samples for the Omnitrix on Flores Verdance, Wildvine's home planet.
Zs'skayr,
Possessed the Flora Una that was being sampled, thereby adding Ectonurite DNA to the Omnitrix, as well as Flora Una DNA. Since an Ectonurite's consciousness exists even in a single strand of DNA,
Zs'skayr,
had effectively copied himself into the device. However, his personality remained dormant within the Omnitrix's DNA database for a long time. And if you remember in the episode Ghost Freaked Out,
Zs'skayr,
escaped the Omnitrix, though was defeated shortly after by Ben. He was resurrected by Dr. Victor, however. He experienced his demise a second time, dying due to the sunlight again.
LOL.
Though Ben regained use of Ghost Freak in his true form, he refrained from using the transformation for the remainder of the series under the fear that
Zs'skayr,
may take over again. A wise choice by a 10-year-old. You may be asking how Ghost Freak was resurrected a second time. Well, it's because at some point after Ben meets Azimuth in Secret of the Omnitrix, Ghost Freak's DNA was removed from the codon stream, allowing
Zs'skayr.
to escape the Omnitrix a second time. Hope this helps. And as for the events between From Hidorium to Eternity and Ghost Town, well, the thing is,
Zs'skayr.
was eventually trapped in a plumber prison, held under a beam of concentrated sunlight until Vilgax freed him in Ghost Town. As for him ending up in Legger Domain,
Zs'skayr.
had an off-screen battle with Ben, and when Ben destroyed or dispersed him, his essence drifted into Legger Domain, where he used its magic to reform himself. Subscribe for more.
If you did enjoy this video, be sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more content. Thanks for watching.